Sometimes you get scammed in real estate just because of ignorance, because you don't even know the different legal documents and how they work in real estate. So before you sign any property deal or before you sign any documents this period, this December, I want you to understand that a deed of lease is not ownership. A deed of sublease is still not ownership, because I know that some of you here are even confused. You don't even know what this is, but you have this hard documents in your house. So let's break it now. A
down.
lease simply means that someone gives you the right to use their land or their property for a certain number of years. This is where most of you get it wrong. But if someone leases something to you, you don't own it. You don't own that property, you don't own the land. You're just borrowing the right to use it, usually in exchange for rent. So if someone gives me a shop to lease, or if I lease a shop for 10 years, I can run my business there, I can furnish it, I can paint it, I can renovate it within the terms and conditions of that same place. So, but the landlord still owns the place. Now, let me tell you why leases even exist in the first place. Under the Land Use Act of 1978, all land in Nigeria, when I mean all, I mean all, even that your ancestors' land, your grandmother's land, belongs to the government. So, what you're actually holding is a government approved lease, usually up to 99 years. So, from the government to the landlord is a lease. From the landlord to you is also a lease. So, what exactly is a deed of sublease? A sublease happens when the original tenant, that is the person who already holds the original lease, the real person, gives someone else the right, the authority to use the land or the property for the remaining years of their lease period. So if I have a 6 years left on my 10 years lease, I can give someone else the right to use the remaining 6 years, but I am still accountable to the landlord. A deed of sublease gives the subtenant the right to use the property for the agreed purpose, build and renovate within the rules, enjoy the property for the remaining lease period. But what a deed of sublease cannot do is it cannot transfer ownership. It does not take away the landlord's right. It cannot extend beyond the original lease period, and it cannot remove the original tenant's liability. So that means if the subtenant damages or stops paying rent, the original tenant will be held responsible. Real question is, can a deed of sublease give you true ownership? I'm here to tell you that a deed of sublease cannot give you true ownership. You're only buying into the remaining years of someone else's lease. A deed of lease cannot still give you true ownership. If you want true ownership, the best you could get is a deed of assignment or a deed of conveyance or a registered sale of agreement. But a deed of sublease or a deed of ownership or a deed of lease cannot give you true ownership. However, a deed of lease or a deed of sublease is not fake. It's not a fake document. It is legal, it is valid, but it is temporary. But if you don't want to go through the hassle of doing all of this, the best thing you can do is to buy from Ajebo Homes, because I sell only verified lands and properties in Abuja. And that's all for today. Thank you for watching. Bye.